Welcome to Fever Dream Thoughts. If you're new here, hi, I'm Nova. I write songs and poems and a lot of notes in my phone, and I found that turning my feelings into art is usually the best way to figure out what I'm experiencing. Before we start, disclaimer, none of this is advice. I'm just someone who's had pretty weird experiences and fallen down some rabbit holes and occasionally come back with a thought that might be worth sharing. I recently released a poem called Witnessed, and a few months ago I released a song called Please Her. On the surface, these pieces might seem like they're about love and femininity and relationships, which they are in a way, but I want to talk about what I was actually thinking when I wrote them. They were more about existing and being perceived by others, especially as a woman, because when I look back at a lot of my life, I can see how much of myself was built in relation to other people. And I don't even mean that in a people-pleasing way. I mean, I've always understood myself through other people. Through friendships, relationships, community, being wanted, being understood, being chosen. And I started wondering if all those things disappeared, would I still know who I was? Because for a lot of my life, I've had this feeling that I don't exist unless I'm being perceived by somebody else. And I mean it in the sense that if I'm completely alone for long enough, I start losing my sense of self. I stop knowing who I am. It's like I need another person to reflect me back to myself, which sounds ridiculous when I say it out loud, but I don't think I'm the only person who experiences this. When I'm alone for long enough, I start asking a lot of questions. Who am I when nobody's looking? Who am I when nobody needs anything from me? Who am I when I'm not performing a role? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe that's why being alone, at least for me, can feel so uncomfortable sometimes, because eventually there's no mirrors left. There's nobody to reflect you back to yourself, and you have to sit with whatever remains. I think that's mainly why I make art. Every song, every poem, every video is me trying to understand something that I don't quite have words for yet. But I also think it's me trying to leave evidence. Evidence that I was here, that I felt something, that I existed. And maybe that's what art has kind of always been, a way for humans to witness each other across time. A way of saying, I was here. This is what this felt like to me. Did anybody else feel this too? Maybe that's kind of what I've been looking for this whole time. It's not attention, not admiration, just some kind of proof that I'm here, that I existed. Because when I'm writing a song or a poem or filming something that only existed in my head before, I'm not really thinking about who I should be. For a moment, I'm just being. And maybe that's the closest I've come to answering the question, do I exist when no one is looking? Maybe I do. Maybe I always did. Maybe it's not my job to figure out who I am. Maybe that's just something that reveals itself through living, through creating, through loving, through being. And maybe the more interesting question isn't who I am. Maybe it's whether I can stop thinking about it long enough to find out. Anyway, those are my thoughts. So, Please Her, Witnessed. If you like any of those, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.